When you having conversations with a person that's not intellectual, they can't see themselves. I'm looking dead at a Haitian. You look just like me. There was a documentary, and it made me tear up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I watched. There was an outhouse over the ocean, and one of the guys was using the restroom. So the feces was going into the water. On the other side, the kids was playing in the pool in the ocean. On the other side, the other kids was bathing. So one person was using the restroom, one kid was playing in the water, and the other kids was bathing. And I'm sitting there looking like, as a black man, that don't bother me. That's the thing. You can look at that and don't think that's your people. You could tell somebody did a number on you. You can't look, if he don't open his tongue, he don't open his mouth, that person look just like you. And you can't see that person as you, that means they've done a number on you. They've done a number on you. We so disconnected from our reality that you looking at a black person and you're going based on where they're born at and can't see that if I pull them that lineage, that person gonna connect some way, somehow to you. Some way, somehow.
But do you think black culture is perseverance too, because we've overcame so much? And it's perseverance because we've overcame so much and have had to just really fight our way, prove ourselves, push our way. And that's why sometimes any way we could get it, we just trying to get it. Because it's like we're the last to eat at the table and we're always counted out.
Remember that movie, The Django?
Yes.
Remember the Samuel L. Jackson scene? Who's that on that near? I think that's how a lot of us feel. They get intimidated when another black person is moving up. They get scared. They don't want, because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's sad to say, and a lot of people don't want to be honest. As a man or a woman elevates successful-wise, you're more inclined to get killed by someone that looks just like you opposed to someone that don't. And that's a sad reality, and we have to call it what it is. Nipsey Hussle, killed by a black man, right? Big L, killed by a black man. Biggie Smalls, killed by a black man. Tupac, killed by a black man. XXX, killed by a black man. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep naming reality that you're more, as you elevate, you're more inclined to get killed by an ignorant black man or a black woman opposed to someone that don't look like you. And it's so scary, but it's just like, but if you say it, they get offended. I'm like, no, do we have to help our brothers and sisters who may have not gotten to that level mentally because we assume age warrants maturity.
But
in reality, it don't.
Why is it in other cultures? Why is it that Asians aren't jealous of Asians? Spanish, I'm not going to say all.
I just want to say this. Nipsey was my guy. Just so you know this, Nipsey was a gangbanger based on culture and where he come from. Just like an African can be in a tribe just because when they say they when they say they Igbo, right? Yoruba, you know what that is? Those are tribes. So in the culture where he comes from, Crippin' and Bloodin' is a culture for them. We may not understand it because we don't come from that, but where they come from, that's a tribe for them, right? Because there's the connection for them. But the reality is, Nips employed more people that look like him, and more people who came from bad situations than that person has ever did. Nipsey did a lot for his community. So regardless of whatever, yes, he started off at a bad starting point, but he started turning off a new leaf, teaching the people how to do more and how to employ people that look like him more. So I just want to say that respectfully. Nipsey was on Bitcoin and all of these things way before anybody else, since 2010. Nipsey was ahead of his time. So we can say whatever you want. Again, Malcolm X was a pimp and a stone cold hustler. But Malcolm X became Malcolm X. So again, one thing about biblically, the Bible shows you the 12 disciples was every bit of bad people, but God showed you the power of change because he was able to show you that this person, I can take this person who was outside wilding, but yet and still I can make you a great person. I can show you that change warrants the greatest things. So let's not call somebody out for what they were. True. Let's call about somebody out for where they're going.
Where they're going,
let's not do that. That's the problem with our culture. Again, I could tell you, a woman could tell me she used to be a whore, I would respect her because that means at one point she may not have valued herself. So now she can value herself. So am I going to continue to hold her to who she was?
Right.
That's kind of crazy. They say he who without sin cast the first stone. She without sin cast the first stone. So I'm just calling it what it is.
That's true, Barbara. She said Selena got killed by one of her own people too. That's a fact.
100%. You're more inclined to get killed by somebody that look like you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, again, I'm not going to argue the statement. I just say when you know certain things, you know certain things. And the reality is people that don't come from certain environments, like for instance, a person can have two parents in their house, had a great home, come from a great environment, mother had a career, dad had a career, and then they laughing at somebody that didn't have those aesthetics. And then they look down on them because I'm like, that person don't know nobody. See, when you open the fridge, right? You open the fridge, you wonder what you was gonna eat tonight. That person opened the fridge, they wonder how the hell they gonna eat tonight. Y'all didn't have the same story. You open the fridge, you wonder what the hell you're gonna eat tonight. They open the fridge, they wonder how the hell they gonna eat tonight. See, the difference is me, I grew up, me, I had to wonder how I was gonna eat tonight. My son grew up, he wonders what he wants to eat tonight. You see the difference? So again, I just have to understand we come from two different worlds.
Yeah.
We just come from two different worlds.
Yeah.
And to be a great human is to understand everybody's starting point ain't the same, right? And that's just what we have to respect. And just know that some people learn their value later. They learn their self-worth later. It's just reality. Everyone is not the same. I'm saying, Ty, you got something?
But that's why I say we judge too much. And even on here, like sometimes we always say we don't look at the comments, we don't this, but you see a lot of people judging. And when we look at it, we're all one. Like everybody is just trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the right way, the wrong way, it doesn't matter. We're all just trying to figure it out. We're not going to all get it right. Nobody's perfect, but give people grace. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody got something they're going through. Everybody got something they're battling.
Listen, you think I teach a lot?
Do I think you teach?
Like,
I
give a lot of game out. I was a super gangbanger. Super gangbanger.
Was the KKK to the
super gangbanger. But again, if you hold me to who I was, you'll never see where I'm going.
Yeah.
Because again, you need people like that experience both sides of the coins that can lead other people out of the darkness.
And you gotta respect growth.
A person can't show me the light if they ain't never been in the darkness. You can't show me the light if you ain't never been darkness. The only thing that can save any human is a testimony. Testimony is what save people.
Yeah.
Right? When you see somebody like, damn, this person was like this. You think when they got AA, right? They bring back the old addicts to do what? Inspire the current addicts. Because the old addicts is going to inspire the current addicts. Because that's how life is. And they're all fighting addiction. They all fighting. See, some people laugh at addicts, but I'm like, that's an addiction. That's a real mental illness.
Yeah.
But again, we laugh at these people. I'm like, this is crazy. You're laughing at someone with a mental illness. Mental illness.
A lot of people like to keep you where you're at, though. They don't like to see where you're going. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, imagine you being successful and you say, yo, you used to be in a gang or whatever, and you get into an argument with your homeboys like, yo, you ain't nothing but a gangbanger. You have people that will still say that. But I'm saying, but they will say that. They won't see you as who you are now. Cue the author, cue the musician, cue the podcaster, cue the real estate mogul, cue the father, cue the boy. They're not going to see you as that. That person is going to look at you from where you were as opposed to where you are, because that's just sometimes how people are. Like, I don't pay no mind to none of that.
You know what it is? It's sometimes in chapters of your book, wherever people met you, that's where they hold you.
Yeah.
So again, you know, remember when we was in school, we used to have something called a bookmark. Whatever chapter they put that bookmark in, that's where they hold you in your life at.
Yeah.
They're gonna hold you in that same bookmark chapter because they don't realize that you had to go through the chapter for you to fulfill the whole journey and purpose of your life. You had to go through this whole thing because the power of growth, the power of logic, the power of understanding usually comes from experience.
Yeah.
And the sad part is people that have no experience, they judge people who have certain experience. I don't go to a person that's never been married to learn about marriage. I go to somebody that's been married to learn about marriage. I'm not, if I want my kid, I'm doing something called prevention, I'm gonna bring somebody that grew up in the streets to talk to him about the streets. I'm not gonna take him to the guy that's the CEO of a hedge fund. I'm gonna teach him, I'm gonna take him to someone that actually grew up in them streets.
But do you judge? One thing I don't do, and I think that's why, so I have one of my friends who always says, yo, Shay, you are such a humanitarian. I think one thing that I've learned in my life is to never judge people. I don't like to look at people for what they do,
007?
Who they are.
Block them. Block them. Enough.
I don't judge people. I think everyone is at a place in their life because that's where they are. So when I went to church today, the pastor preached such a good sermon about we got to accept people for who they are, even if it doesn't align with what we want. Or, you know, so I've learned that you have a doctor, right? You have a brain surgeon who saves lives,
Yes.
and then you have the janitor who keeps the toilet clean and who keeps the bathroom clean and who keeps the hospital clean. And I'm still going to give them the same respect because they both work with each other to make sure that the hospital is running.
Yes.
I don't look at one person as, okay, well, because that person went to school and they're making this, well, I'm going to look down on that person. I feel like we just have in society now, we put people in categories. We categorize people, and I don't like to do that. I look at everybody, like I said, guys, we all in this big world together, just trying to figure it out. We just trying to figure it out.
100%,
you know what I mean?
100%.
So
one of my favorite activists is one of the guys that ran with the Black Panther Party. I don't know if y'all know Dr. Huey P. Newton. Huey P. was a gangster.
Congrats, Sid. I just wanted to say
just
that.
so you know, he was a gangster. He was a super gangster, but yet still very educated, Very, very educated, but he understood that we stood for principles, morals, and integrity. Right. And he had to stand up for his culture and his people. Right. So the reality is, like, we have to learn sometimes the why. There's always a why, right? If people don't, that's what we don't look at. I'm gonna tell you something. If there's a guy, say hypothetically they sold something illegal, right? You look at, he's a drug dealer. Well, what if the person sold drugs because they felt like there was no other way? And this is genuine with the environment they come from. And then you say, oh, there is another way, because you saw other ways. That person didn't have the same lens.
But on the flip side, it doesn't make it right that they chose
that lifestyle. It don't make it right. I never said it was right.
Choice.
No, it is a choice. But it ain't a choice when you believe there is no other choice. It's only a choice when you know there's other choices. To where that person can come from, they can only see that as the only way. The only way, right? And again, it's because, again, most young people that go to gangs, they go to gangs because of the lack of love in their homes. It's easy to grab a young man or a woman to put him in a gang if they come from environments that didn't show the level of affection or love as a family. So guess what they're looking for? They're looking for family. They're looking for love.